Okay. What's going on, people? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. And y'all already know what's going down today. You know what time it is, so turn it off, turn it all the way off. Yeah. All right. I'm going to tell y'all, to my regular listeners, however few there is, y'all should know that routine by now. But anyway, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns. This is Sports Plus Life, that sports podcast that talks about all the necessary hot topics that needs to be discussed. Not many, especially going on through this stuff.
Coronavirus!
But
Coronavirus!
if you are a first-time listener, don't hesitate to hit that subscription button and become part of the Sports Plus Life family, especially if you're in quarantine because you really ain't got nothing else to do. So go ahead and give me a listen. But anyway, how's everybody doing today? It is a beautiful day outside in Richmond, Virginia. And I know, like I said, a lot of you guys are quarantined. I'm going to get into that in a second. But, you know, be that as it may, I hope everybody is still having a great day and having a great productive day, because if you are one of the people who unfortunately are in quarantine, you know, wherever you are, you can still be productive and still be in quarantine. But it is, again, a gorgeous 69-degree day here in Richmond, Virginia. And it is Friday, April 3rd, 2020. And again, like I said earlier, like I said after every show, you know it's going down today. So, you know, with that being said, let's get to it, man. Okay, I'm going to just come out right and say it. I am sick and damn tired of this, you know, coronavirus. I'm sick and damn tired of it like everybody else, but mine may be a little bit different from why everybody else is sick and tired of it. You know, what I have been trying to do is more or less try to encourage people not to OD on major mainstream media when it comes to what you hear about the coronavirus. I really am. Because what we're being spoon-fed is a lot of fear. And again, what my issue is that what we're not hearing enough of is about the people who are actually recovering from this pandemic. If that's what you want to call it, that's what they're calling it. But all I'm going to say is this. Don't believe everything that you hear on major market media. I'm just saying.
What's wrong with y'all?
Because
you niggas are crazy.
And I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but the stuff is just not adding up to me. First of all, I want my damn sports back.
Biatch.
That's what I want. I want my sports back. Period. I'm like everybody else in America, everybody else in the world. But I'm tired of this because now what they say the White House today was going to make an announcement saying that everybody needs to wear masks in public. Not mandatory, but just a suggestion that everybody should wear masks in public. So now we can have everybody already walking around looking like they're in an emergency room or looking like damn Scorpion or Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. But it's just not making sense to me, because it's like every celeb that you done heard say that they've tested positive, they all say the same thing. They all say the same damn thing. You know, take the virus seriously, you know, just it's real. I got it and I didn't have any symptoms. And I'm not saying that they didn't have it, but what is not being really, I guess, celebrated, so to speak, given the circumstances, is that they got over it. You know, the dude who really started it and really got sports shut down, Rudy Gobert, he's been cleared. Donovan Mitchell cleared. Marcus Smart cleared. Sean Payton cleared. You know, you haven't heard anything else about Tom Hanks, and I know I said this on a Facebook Live last week. But now, that doesn't mean go out there and be irresponsible, because I done heard some stuff. And I'm pretty sure everybody else, I mean, I heard a girl say that that went down to Miami. First of all, she was licking toilets and whatnot, and I'm like, what kind of stuff is you on? You know, that she was licking toilets, and also said that she believes that cocaine is possibly a cure for coronavirus.
God damn!
Because she said everybody in Miami was doing cocaine where I was at, and we were doing cocaine, and nobody tested positive for anything. Let me tell you something. If cocaine is the cure-all for the coronavirus, then we are in trouble. We are in trouble. I'm telling you, if cocaine is the cure-all for the coronavirus, we are in some deep ish. I'm serious. Nobody's rims on their car, nobody's video game system, and nobody's furniture will ever be safe again if cocaine is the cure-all for coronavirus. And you can just hear the people now. I told you so. I told you it was a hell of a drug. Talking about just say no. Now you got to just say yes. I mean, like I said, I done heard some stuff, but I just cannot believe everything that I'm hearing, you know, when it comes to basically mainstream media. That's why I said maybe people need to dumb it down from CNN, dumb it down from MSNBC, Yahoo on your phone and stuff like that, because what is the main thing that's happening? People are worried. People are scared. People are fearful. You know, oh my gosh. But like I said, what's not being publicized enough is the amount of people who have been cured, so to speak, of this coronavirus. You know, you don't see that. You might see that in a breaking news going below your TV screen. But when somebody catches it, it's everywhere. You hear about it all over the place. And it's like our government wants us to be afraid. Imagine that. Imagine that, my podcast listeners and my friends listening on Facebook Live right now. Imagine that. So that's what I've just been trying to encourage people to do, is just dumb it down, because this is a trip. Like I said, this stuff just does not add up to me. It doesn't add up. It's not making any sense. And then there's so many people saying that, you know, we're quarantined, we're staying in the house. Let me tell you something. Everybody ain't in that position. And I can only speak for myself, because I know this. Since this whole thing has happened and, you know, everything has changed, you know, within the world, particularly within our country, my daily routine, and like I say, I can only speak for me, my daily routine has not changed one bit. Now, for those people who have been affected, who have been laid off of work or anything like that, that sucks. And I definitely am sorry. I am sorry to hear that. But there are many people. It's like the only people that you're hearing from in the public eye are people that are in quarantine, quote unquote, saying that they're you know, locked in and they can't get out, and you know, they can't come out the house. And I'm like, who?
Biatch.
Tell that to my job and tell that to my bills, because I ain't missed a day. I've been out every day because I've been working. Now, on days when I've been off from work, yeah, I've been in the house chilling. Like I said, I'm being responsible. I think if you're going out there and you house hopping and stuff like that, I think you're being irresponsible just because of, you know, of being safe than sorry. But, you know, if you have to work, like me, I drive, I deliver for Amazon. If you work for FedEx, UPS, Amazon, postal worker, grocery store, ABC store, gas station, convenience store, of course, law enforcement, and of course, the medical profession. But it's not just that, or whatever is considered an essential job. What the hell is that, by the way, an essential job? You know what that is? That is pretty much people telling you what they think your worth is in the job that you got. Real talk. Because to me, every job is essential if you got a job. You know, every job serves some kind of purpose in the community or in the area that they work at. But, it's so many people that I listen to on the radio or watch TV that's just, we're in quarantine, we can't come out of the house, or I'm seeing people post on Facebook and Instagram, we can't come out the house until June. What? Who? What? Who ain't coming out the house till June? I just got back in the house. And I'm being dead ass serious. Real talk. And for one, like I said last week, newsflash, it is springtime. It is almost 70 degrees outside. Do you really think that you're going to just get the American public to just stop doing what they normally do and just stay in the house now that it's getting warm outside? And you act surprised when you see that learning curve isn't going as smoothly as you thought? Come on, people, get real. I understand the whole groups of 10 thing. I get it. 6 feet apart, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Go to a grocery store and see if people standing 6 feet apart from each other. Real talk. Good luck. Good luck with that one. Because I ain't seen it yet. I've seen people suggest it, but I ain't seen it yet. I've seen people taping shit on their store, on their, whatever business they are floor, but I ain't seen people really abide by it. I'm just being honest. I've seen plenty of people with masks on, looking like Sub-Zero, or looking like the Shredder. I've seen plenty of people with gloves on. I'm one of them. I've been out here wearing gloves. Absolutely. Absolutely, because I want to be safe rather than sorry, but I still got to do what I got to do. I'm not going to listen, stop, and freeze just because somebody on TV say, yeah, this is what you should do. Okay, then why ain't you got it then? That's just my thing. And the messed up thing is, and why I'm sick of it, because it's something bigger than this coronavirus, and it's killing people. That's the part that's messed up to me, is that whoever's pulling the strings in this, or the group of people that's pulling the strings in this, is killing people. And it's like, for what? That's what's pissing me off. That's what's pissing me off. And I don't want to hear nothing about, all right, everybody going to have to take a vaccine. I'm not trying to hear that. Because, I hope everybody know what time it is once that happens. I'm just being real with you. Straight up. Straight up. Excuse me, I am parched. But I am, like I said, me, like so many other people in the world, particularly in America, I am sick of the damn coronavirus. I am. And like I said, I'm just sick of it because I'm tired of hearing about it. I am. I block it out as much as possible. But like I said, because my daily routine has not changed, I have to go to work tomorrow. I'll be there at 5:30 in the morning till I'm done with my shift. Who knows what time that's going to be. I will be in Fredericksburg or Spotsylvania as per usual. Like I said, as many people who are locked in the house or in quarantine, at least in the state of Virginia, it ain't mandatory yet. It's just as many people who are still out there working. And then I got some friends of mine who's working from home, and they happy as hell. They are. They wanted to work from home anyway. Now, to those, like I said, who have gotten laid off, like today, Goodwill just laid off over 800 employees or something like that. That's whack, man. That is whack. Especially if you got kids, that's whack. And when like I said, I can only speak for me. The only thing that's been affected as far as my household, my family goes, is that my son ain't in school. That's it. Because we don't take the kids to a babysitter. We don't take the kids to daycare. They go to a private babysitter. So we didn't have to depend on a daycare to be open. We didn't. The only thing that's different is my son's not in school. And that's just my household. And watching live sports. That's it. Wildin' Out still coming on. Because I pretty much watch ESPN Wildin' Out. That's it. Kids still watching RuPaul. That hasn't changed. That hasn't changed one bit. And, but it's a trip, man. It's a trip. And I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of hearing about it. I want everybody out there, for one, to be okay. And, give me my goddamn sports back. Get them to me.
Give me a hell yeah.
For real now. Give me my sports back. All of this BS. Now they talking about, well, all of these things have to pass. If there's football, if there's going to be football on time, I just wish the hell somebody would try it. I wish the hell somebody would try it to delay the start of the NFL season. Not after all the changes that's going on in football, which is my next topic of discussion. All the changes that's going on in football. Brady to Tampa, Gurley to the Falcons. The Ravens just signed my boy Derek Wolfe from the Denver Broncos. All of the changes going on in the NFL, and you try to not have an NFL season. Boy, you think stuff is crazy now. Try having Tom Brady go to Tampa Bay Bucks and we can't see him play because of some punk ass virus. Go ahead. Good luck with that one. Good luck with that one. Man, come on, man. Now, I'm going to go off of Facebook Live, but I'm going to continue on with the show. And like I said, I'm getting into football right now. And again, I just have to thank the NFL just because they've kept it business as usual, particularly when it comes to the free agency period. And that's kind of kept things in the news to kind of keep our mind off of what's been going on. Now, as far as free agency goes, it's been a little over a week since the last time I did a show. My boy, Chris Harris, Denver Bronco, great, ended up signing a 1-year deal with the LA Chargers. Don't like it. Derek Wolfe ended up going to Baltimore. Good look for the Ravens, but, love those guys, man. I do. Love them, hate to see them go. And the Chiefs are reworking the deal of Sammy Watkins to save some cap space money. And the Bears, Matt Nagy said that it's going to be an open competition to see who's the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears, either Nick Foles or Mitch Trubisky. And to that, I have to just say, duh. It's Mitch Trubisky. Why would you just give him the starting role to any team? It's Mitch Trubisky. I'm telling you something. If I was a Chicago Bears fan, and I would still be looking for the person who in the 2017 draft traded up to the number 2 spot to take Mitch Trubisky over Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. If I was a Bears fan, every time I looked at Mitch Trubisky, it would make me want to throw up because of what you could have potentially had and what you ended up getting due to poor mismanagement. I ain't bullshitting about that one. I would look at Mitchell Trubisky and literally want to vomit to think, good Lord, we could have had Patrick Mahomes. We could have had Deshaun Watson. Instead, we got that guy who really, he's on his last leg this season. Real talk. If Nick Foles beats him out for the starting quarterback, if Nick Foles has to come in at any time to play starting quarterback for the Bears outside of an injury, I think Trubisky is done in Chicago. Real talk. Bruce Arians, the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, totally slammed the door on any thoughts of Antonio Brown coming to join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Remember, he was his offensive coordinator, Antonio Brown's first 2 years in Pittsburgh, so he has a good idea. He said, I've seen what he can do. I've seen him in the locker room. Of course, we know Antonio Brown played 1 week with Tom Brady last year with the New England Patriots, the last time he stepped on a football field. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And, that's AB's fault because of the way he conducted himself over the way he conducted himself for about almost a year period. I would say maybe about a 10-month period through the whole NFL season and right before the season started. Really all the way up to maybe about a month ago when he went on his little apology tour. And I'm like, you finally getting you understanding that your career in the NFL may be over, bruh. That what you thinking back. That what you thinking back. Because half the time, people don't even understand what you be talking back. But we understand what you thinking, Pat, right now. So, I did say last time that the Denver Broncos signed Melvin Gordon. I still kind of don't understand why that happened. But, Derrick Henry did just sign his one-year tender for like $10.2 million. You talk about a slap in the face. Man, you give Ryan Tannehill, I'm still tripping off that, y'all. You give Ryan Tannehill that big contract, and Derrick Henry's the one who literally carried him there. Literally. Toted that rock and toted over $60 million guaranteed in Ryan Tannehill's pocket. And what Derrick Henry get? A $10.2 million franchise offer. Franchise play. 1 year. Man, that's the way they do these running backs, man. That's just the way they do these running backs. Now, quickly, because I don't give the Dallas Cowboys the attention that everybody else out there in media land does, because to me, they don't deserve it. I mean, just being real. They don't deserve it. They did just sign Aldon Smith. Aldon Smith, who, if you know anything about football, has had a checkered past. He hasn't played football since 2015 for the Oakland Raiders, but was an all-world outside linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers, particularly when he first came in the league. He was a part of their team that went to the 2012 Super Bowl. And, hope he's getting his life back together. Just wanted to point that out. Good for him. But really what I'm talking about in regards to the Cowboys, and this really irked me, because Des Bryant posted a photo yesterday with him, Dak Prescott, and 3 other people who just had a workout. And a couple of people in sports talk land, particularly on Undisputed, and I love that show. They didn't really say much of it on First Take. I love both shows. We're kind of grilling, saying that Dez and Dak, and they just need to be more responsible because of the current climate in the world, and them taking pictures and not taking social distancing serious. Look, bruh, that really got under my skin, because didn't they say they don't want you to be in large groups of 10? It was 5 people. And then we want you to be 6 feet apart. Look, man, I participated and I've been in a football workout. Now, of course, not at that level. But if you a bunch of receivers playing throw and catch, you ain't nowhere near each other. I'm like, come on, man. This is what I'm talking about this fear. This fear aspect that's really pissing me off. Because I'm like, okay, you're going to jump down their throat because they posted a picture and they were standing close to each other. That's probably the closest they were to each other the whole time. So it's like, what do you want? What do you want? Okay, do you want it to be groups of 10 or less? I mean, I know they're just saying just stay in the house. Bruh, like I said, man, until some type of mandatory lockdown nationwide is put in place, people are going to come outside and do what they have to do. It doesn't mean that they weren't being aware. I mean, hell, I could see if it was like 15, 20 people and they had just got finished playing a game of flag football, or I could see if they was taking a picture from somebody's garage or in somebody's house with like 8 or 9 more people there and they drinking and stuff like that. Man, it was a workout. I could even see if they was in a gym. They was outside. They were outside and there was 5 of them. So I'm sorry. And I don't, normally disagree, or at least put on blast what I disagree with when it comes to, the sports talk heads that I really look up to. But particularly on Undisputed, I was like, give me a break. Just shut up. Shut up. Because you're saying social distance, cool. You're saying groups of 10 or less. Okay, fine. It was 5 of them, and they were doing a football workout. If they throwing the ball back and forth, they probably ain't 50 feet from each other. So I'm like, come on, man, get a grip. And I watch those shows so I can just listen to the knowledge, and I actually like the debates they're having because it's about sports from the past, and I'm really good at that. I'd wipe the floor with any of them right now, and I'm being serious with you. But don't start pumping that fear shit out to the public. Don't become part of that crowd. Don't. They're doing their shows from their home. Okay, fine, cool, whatever. But don't start pumping the fear aspect to the public. I mean, it's bad enough when you turn on CNN, CBS, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, Fox News. That's all you hear about. Somebody else done got it. Somebody else done died. You don't hear about who done recovered. So please, just don't. And that's a PSA coming from me. And if I have to defend the Dallas Cowboys on anything, that was ridiculous. Now, in regards to Dez Bryant, do you really think the Cowboys are going to sign you back? Bro, you sound desperate and delusional. And if you're looking at the fact that Jerry Jones brought back Jason Witten for last season, and you're saying, hey, Jerry, I was a Cowboy too. I was a productive Cowboy. What about me? I want you to just sit back and think about that one. Think about it. You were seen as a productive Cowboy at one point in time. Jason Witten is seen as family. He is seen as one of those adopted sons of Jerry Jones, which is why I was stunned to see that Witten is now going to the Vegas Raiders. I'm just being honest. So that's what I'm gonna talk about as far as football goes. Now, as far as basketball, they're looking to see, hopefully, possibly the season can start by around June. Other than that, it's not really much to report on basketball. Now, what was fun is, because they took away our March Madness, ESPN had a poll that, to see who was the greatest college basketball player of all time, I guess in the spirit of March Madness. And I'm going to be honest with you. These fans who voted got this so wrong. Way off. They voted Michael Jordan the greatest college basketball player of all time. That is all about popularity. And he beat Larry Bird in, I guess, what was the finals of that bracket. Michael Jordan was a tremendous college basketball player, but Michael Jordan wasn't even a top 10 of all. He's not even in top 10, as far as I'm concerned, of college basketball players all time. College, MJ is mostly regarded, by most as the greatest, basketball player, particularly the greatest NBA player of all time. Not by me, but I don't argue with the discussion. I don't have a problem with it. If you were to ask me, I would tell you who and I would tell you why. But college, like I said, Jordan shouldn't even be in the top 10. The best college basketball player of all time is not even close. Is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. To be honest with me, the greatest basketball player ever, college and pro, is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, anybody can feel free to disagree all they want to, but Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I'm just going to say in college, excuse me, my voice is getting a little dry. In college, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played at UCLA for 3 years, won 3 national championships, only lost 2 games total, and was the MOP all 3 years, which is college basketball's version of the MVP. Enough said. Case closed. 3 national championships in 3 seasons, 3 MOPs, lost only 2 games total at UCLA during his college career. He's the best ever for college basketball. He definitely had a better college basketball career than Michael Jordan. Hell, Larry Bird had a better college basketball career than Michael Jordan. He did. He just didn't win a championship. Bill Walton had a better career. Christian Laettner had a better college career. Grant Hill had a better college career. I'd say Ralph Sampson had a better college career. He just didn't win a championship. You could say Danny Manning had a better college career. The list goes. You could say Isaiah Thomas had a better college career than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, the year his team did win a championship, his freshman year, wasn't even the best college basketball player on his team. That was James Worthy. I'm just saying. And with that being said, I'm bringing back one of the main special guests of the show. Haven't talked to him in a while, my man Tony. The last time we talked, we actually had live sports going on. But you know what? It is what it is. We work on what we got. But what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's going on? We reduced to watching football on the replay on the NFL Network.
Man, let me tell you something. Last night on, the channel where the Wizards usually have, they had an NBA 2K game playing like it was a regular basketball game. Lakers versus Wizards.
Well, that's the thing now, because they did that with the NFL, and they've taken the NBA players and put them in WWE simulation.
Yeah, well, they're doing that. They're having a 2K tournament in an hour on ESPN. The NBA stars are, but it's going to be all the games for 2K is going to be, on ESPN as if it's really being played. That starts in an hour.
Wow. Well, hey, and I wouldn't be surprised if Vegas betting on it. So
of course, Vegas got to keep that money coming some way.
Exactly.
But what's on your mind, bro? What is on your mind?
Well, not that we're going to have a football season, but it's always Cowboys news. Nothing new on the Bulls home front. Whether Corona is going to get boiling and finally put the Bulls out of their misery. But, Cowboys news. Alden Smith, Rex Ryan's indiscretion, Dak and Dez. My take on the Alden Smith situation, bad dude. Like, makes Greg Hardy look like a choir boy. But if our newest D-line acquisitions, they're kind of leaning toward the meaner, nastier players. A lot of his problems seem to have been tied to alcoholism. Jay Glazer vouches for him, says he got him under wraps.
I did hear that.
Knows the man. So he has people in his corner. So it's a very low risk deal. He's getting $930,000 with a bunch of incentives and not $1 guaranteed.
A possibility of $2 million in incentives.
Right. If it doesn't work out, you cut bait. If it works out, he's 30, but he hasn't played in 4 years. So
right.
He's 26. He had that kind of natural ability. I don't think he's a guy that got coached up. He just seemed to have the natural ability. So if he can recapture some of that, it's a steal.
Well, it could be a steal. It could be, you could. Because I think about when they had Greg Hardy and then longer than that when they brought in Pac-Man Jones for a year. I think who's y'all D lineman that left that really would open the door for this?
Robert Quinn.
Yeah, Robert Quinn left. Yes, Robert Quinn left, and that kind of opened the door. And it is low risk, potential high reward. But okay, so I'm not confined to everything Cowboys. Let me ask you a couple questions about some things. And this has nothing to do with the Cowboys. First of all, I'm a prophet when it comes to Tom Brady to Tampa Bay. Okay, but what do you think of Brady to the Bucs?
I think that Brady still wanted to play. I think that if Arians wasn't there, there would be no chance. But because Arians is there, and they do have some pieces. They have a decent defense. They have some pieces to work with. I think Brady was willing to take the gamble and go there. Now in that division, he's staring at Drew Brees. So
right, exactly.
Watch, twice a year. See them go at each other. It's really between them and the Saints. So,
well, what I'm gonna say about that division is, and I think honestly, the fact that the next time, the next playoff season, they're adding the extra team for each conference. Now, you had your people who are over the top who are saying, hey, Tampa Bay is going to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is going to be played in Tampa. Tom Brady's going to be there. Tampa Bay is loaded offensively, really, except for the running back position. They are. They're loaded. But to me, like you said, they're staring at Drew Brees, who I think should be right now. I think the Saints should be the favorite to come out of the NFC. I don't know why the 49ers let Emmanuel Sanders walk, but him going to New Orleans is scary. Them getting Malcolm Jenkins back, veteran presence on that defense, a good move. Them re-upping with Janoris Jackrabbit Jenkins, them redoing his contract where they could save some money and cap space was big time. But the Atlanta Falcons quietly have reloaded too. You know, we don't know we don't know what's left of Todd Gurley, but I do like the Dante Fowler pickup. You still have Julio, you still have Ridley.
It's the Falcons.
I know the Falcons. Yeah, the Falcons.
They reloaded a starter pistol.
The Falcons find a way to screw it up. I mean, hey, that's similar to another team that I know that plays in a dome that finds a way to screw it up. I mean, so it wouldn't surprise me, but I'm not putting Tampa Bay above the Saints.
No, I wouldn't say that. Simply because they're established in their system and what they do, and presumably Arians is not going to remake their system for Brady. Brady's a pretty cerebral guy. They'll make the playoffs because they are a talent-loaded roster, and despite what people may think, Brady wasn't the reason why the Patriots got knocked out of the playoffs. We had this discussion on a previous podcast about the Patriots roster at the beginning of the season.
Oh yeah.
And then, when they come playoff time, it was a little different there.
Well, see, my thing was is that
he'd probably still be a Patriot.
Well, see, no, my thing, I think he just wanted Belichick to kind of give him one little pat on the back, and I think he'd still be a Patriot. But my thing was, as far as the Patriots roster, I wasn't, as everybody and their mama was acting like they was feeling sorry for Tom Brady. And I was just of the mindset of, it's football, injuries happen. Because after week 2, people thought that the Patriots were going to go undefeated. But right before their week 2 game against Miami, since they were such at a loss for weapons, remember they had Josh Gordon, Antonio Brown, Julian Edelman, and Demaryius Thomas on their roster.
Right.
So I wasn't so.
Speaking of, not getting off subject of the Patriots, but speaking of Antonio Brown, so
I was going to get into that.
Arians kind of put the kibosh on that for those that were speculating that Brown may join Brady in Tampa.
Yeah,
Arians kind of put the kibosh on that.
Yeah, and then he was just seen working out with Lamar Jackson.
Right. That would be interesting.
And actually, that was the next team I was going to actually get into, because we all know, everybody's been talking about Tampa Bay ad nauseum since Brady went there. We pretty much are going to know we're going to know pretty much all the names and faces that have to do with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, at least for the next 2 NFL seasons, hoping and praying that there is a 2020 season. But the next team I was going to get into was the Baltimore Ravens. Of course, Lamar Jackson, reigning league MVP. But when I'm looking at what they've done on the defensive side of the ball, bringing in Calais Campbell, just signing Derek Wolfe because the Michael Brockers deal fell through. But Derek Wolfe, I'm a Broncos fan. Derek Wolfe is a solid. He's a very, very good defensive tackle. And they were already good. They re-signed Jimmy Smith. They were already good with their secondary, of course, with Marcus Peters and Earl Thomas. If they sign Antonio Brown, do you think that would make them the favorite to come out of the AFC?
No. Flat out no. One, because the Patriots signed Antonio Brown. The Steelers signed Antonio Brown. The Raiders had Antonio Brown. You don't know what you're getting with Antonio Brown. So you can sign him, but, a lot of working parts have to fall into place with that dude for him to be that factor for you. So just signing them, I can't proclaim them anything by just signing them. I mean, on paper, it looks good. On the defensive side, the Ravens were already solid defensively.
Right.
And, teams game planned around their defense in certain situations. No, I don't think that makes them the favorites. I just don't.
Okay. Now,
One other factor, you have a year on Lamar Jackson film.
Well, yeah, that's true. But you had about a half of a season's film last year too. But I guess the film where that would come into play as far as his throwing ability, because his throwing ability improved dramatically from his rookie season to his second season. But I mean, I don't think that they would bring in Antonio Brown. I would flirt with the idea, but ultimately I wouldn't, because Lamar Jackson isn't, as far as a passer, he isn't at that level yet. Now, he led the league in touchdown passes and completion percentage. I get that. John Harbaugh has done a brilliant job with tailoring that offense around him. But because of Antonio Brown's erratic behavior and knowing that this is predominantly a running team, and how long would it take, even if you're winning, before the true Antonio Brown comes out? Because right now, it is, to me, the AFC looks like a two-team race between the Chiefs and the Ravens. Now, there could be another team that could be a major player potentially if they reached out and signed another player. I'm talking about the Chargers or maybe even my Broncos. But the main question of the next topic is Cam Newton. What do you do?
Well, we'll come back to Cam, but I think there's a team that you're sleeping on in the AFC. I think everybody's sleeping on in the AFC. And don't be surprised if the Colts are in that mix. Don't be surprised. Are in that mix.
I think the Colts need to add another weapon. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I think they need, because they do have arguably the best offensive line in football. Marlon Mack can play. He's a damn good running back. We know T.Y. Hilton is a damn good receiver, even though the last couple of years he's been a little injury prone. And Jack Doyle is a solid tight end. And incidentally, they got Mo Alley Cox, who's their second string tight end boy from VCU. But I have to see what Phillip Rivers is going to look like, because Phillip Rivers, I know that line in LA wasn't that great, but he just, I mean, you can chalk last year up to a bad season, but it was a bad season. Like, he just was making bad decisions. So I could see them as being a dark horse team, but I think they need to add another weapon on the outside. I really do.
On to Cam. Here's the problem with Cam. Because of COVID, teams can't take a proper physical evaluation of him, so that hurts him. The fact that he's a personality quarterback, that hurts him, because you can't bring him in the sense of there were teams out there that potentially take a look at him, maybe compete for the starting job, back up, but if he doesn't win the starting job and he's on your roster, having a personality like him sitting on a bench, that's not going to work.
Well, whoever signs him is not going to have him sitting on the bench. I think the Panthers did him dirty as far as waiting as late as they did to release him. I thought that was a dirtball move by the Carolina Panthers, particularly, he sacrificed his body for that franchise. I mean, he was beat. He was beat to hell, and his body just couldn't take it anymore. And he needed to hit the refresh button.
That's one side of the story. We've heard that before and thought that, and then they will come out later that the team actually did talk to him and may have asked him to take a pay cut or something else, and we didn't know about it because management didn't come forward and say it. And it gives the impression that they like you said, they held on to him, and then for no particular reason, and then just got rid of him. They could have asked him to take a pay cut. We don't know. We don't know what was discussed with them one way or the other.
Well, that's true.
We do know that they did. Ultimately, they gave permission to seek a trade beforehand.
But the fact, I think even contact with him. But I think even they knew that allowing him to seek a trade wasn't going to happen, particularly with everything that was going on with COVID-19 and people trying to social distance and nobody getting any type of workouts. I think if Cam Newton had, like you said, him not being able to take a physical has hurt him. I think if he was able to take a physical, I believe there would have been suitors in that trade. But Cam Newton also has to realize that even if they asked him to take a pay cut, that even if he was traded, that any team that traded for him would probably ask him to take a pay cut because of the injury history. When he gets signed by a team, he's not going to be making what he would have made in the 2020 season as a Carolina Panther. That's just not going to happen.
Honestly, I don't think the Panthers did that. I don't think they just for no. I think there may have been some hemming and hawing. Because he is the face of their franchise still. I think there may have been some hemming and hawing. I think they may have thought about, do we keep him? Despite, Coach leaving, if they were going to get rid of him, they would have probably did it. If they were definitely going to move in a different direction, they would have been there. So by them dragging the feet, I think they probably did ask him to take a pay cut. Because I can't. They probably did.
So, what do you think? Okay, well, let me ask you. Who do you think he's going to end up with?
Man, that's a tough one because everybody, there was talking about maybe Jacksonville, but Minshew mania.
Plus, they're really in rebuild mode.
And so, the logical would have been the Bears. We discussed that. That would have been the best scenario for him, potentially. But there's nobody now. If you look around the league, everybody either has an established quarterback or a young, developing quarterback that he would stunt their growth. So what? What? Even the worst teams in the league, the teams that are slated to draft quarterbacks, they're willing to gamble on the Joe Burrows and the Tuas, and, they don't want to deal with it.
There is one team that I wouldn't be surprised if Cam ended up with, whether they have a young quarterback or not, New England.
There is that possibility, but if let me hear it right. If New England is extremely confident that
Stidham, Jared Stidham,
can run their system. I don't think you go from one old quarterback to an aging quarterback, and Cam Newton does not fit their system, their style of play. He can't play within. He couldn't play within the Panthers system.
Well, you have to remember that. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you, but what I'll say to that is that given what your roster is right now in New England, it's no different than really what Cam has worked with for his entire career. And if you're just asking, and if you're just asking Cam Newton to be a game manager, make a few plays here or there, be it with his arm or with his legs, and just rely on the defense, that's no different than Tom Brady last season or the majority of the first at least 2 Super Bowls that they had. And the added bonus would be is that Cam would still be able to make plays with his legs. So I don't see that out of the realm of possibility. But like I said, particularly with the weapons that they have, or lack thereof.
An old dog, right, to learn its first tricks. Not new tricks, but its first tricks. Cam has never been a playbook guy. Game manager type. Comparing him, their football IQ is night and day. And this is not a racial issue. This is not a black man can't,
No, I get it. No, I get it.
They're 2 different kinds of guys, and Cam will see that window, and he will try to muscle that ball in, and it'll be going back the other direction, whereas Brady will know better than to throw it. No. It's just not a good. Plus, his personality and Belichick, come on.
That's why I think Cam, his personality would fit better in L.A. with the Chargers. Because Anthony Lynn can say all he wants that Tyrod Taylor is our guy. if he is made to sign Cam Newton, or if he sees, film once things get back to a semblance of normal, if he sees, a physical or, sees Cam Newton in person and sees that he is physically where he needs to be and they sign him, it's no way in hell that Cam Newton is sitting back up to Tyrod Taylor. I love Tyrod Taylor, but it's no way that Cam would be sitting behind him. And with his personality being the fact that they're in LA going into a new stadium and you're already struggling with fans as it is, you're pretty much the redheaded stepchild compared to the LA Rams, because that was always a Ram town when it came to football. Bringing in a person like Cam with that personality, particularly if he's healthy and they have weapons and they have a defense, they could potentially be a major player if Cam is healthy. But that's all hearsay. But my next person is Jameis Winston.
Well, okay. Jameis is easy. He's easier than Cam because that personality dynamic doesn't, exist quite as much. But Jameis is going to be a backup, and he deserves to be. Here's the thing, and one thing that's unforgivable is always, particularly with a quarterback, unforgivable, turning that ball over. You can put up 10,000 yards in a season, 50 touchdowns instead of 30. As a matter of fact, his 30 for 30 going to be interesting. When you get a ESPN 30 for 30.
Oh, man. I can't wait.
It's going to be called 30 and 30.
I can't wait.
That's why he's going to be a backup. Because, you can make them plays, but come on, man, you're giving the ball away just as much as you scoring. You can't do that. And he shows no discipline in this game. Like, I guess he can be coached up, but maybe he needs to sit behind somebody, hold a clipboard, see it from the sidelines, and he can get his career back on track. But yeah, he's going to be a backup somewhere.
And I agree
Somebody will take a chance on him.
And I agree with you. And I think, honestly, and I want your opinion on this, I think the perfect place for Jameis Winston to land as a backup would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that him sitting behind Ben Roethlisberger and being coached by Mike Tomlin, he can learn a lot. He can learn a lot sitting behind Big Ben, and he would have a strong coach who could maybe relate to him a little better than the coaches that he's had. And that's really not that's not a color thing. That's really an age thing, to be honest with you. As long as Tomlin has been in the league, he's still a young coach. But I think Pittsburgh would be the perfect spot to him because Ben is 37 years old. He's coming off of an injury. I know quarterbacks now are trying to play into their 40s, but the difference between Roethlisberger and Breeze and Brady and maybe Aaron Rodgers is Ben Roethlisberger has been beaten up Cam Newton style throughout his whole career. What do you think?
I can't say if that, situation in Pittsburgh, because Tomlin kind of has a gambler personality. He's the dude that won't take the field goal, got to go for it on 4th and, 19 instead of kicking the field goal. That may project to Jameis. He already has a gambler mentality looking at interceptions. Same thing with Big Ben. Big Ben, has been known to throw some questionable balls up there. But the fact that Ben is beat up and older, that may give him the quickest opportunity to try to reframe his career.
Okay, so let me ask you a quick question.
Big Ben's last year.
Let me ask you a quick question. Given what happened with Pittsburgh last year, and seeing as how they literally had to use 4 quarterbacks, if you had Jameis Winston as a backup, now mind you, to me, this might have been Mike Tomlin's best coaching job because he ended up going 8-8. But do you think if he had Jameis Winston as his backup last year, do you think they go to the playoffs? As a backup, just as a backup, not as the starter, but as a backup.
As a backup, no, I still don't think they make it. They may win one more game, and that still doesn't get them in the playoffs. Because even with the multiple quarterbacks, they weren't exactly offensively inept. They weren't.
Yeah, but I mean, where I disagree with you at is that Jameis is that
offensively inept
but Jameis was more competent than Mason Rudolph or Duck Hodges. He just was.
Yeah, but you know why they don't go? You know why they don't go?
Why?
Look at his 30.
Yeah, that's
His 30 took place.
Yeah, that's true.
Fourth quarters.
That's true. That's true. That's hard to argue with right there. But I think, and that was just really a hypothesis. But I think if he was the backup to Pittsburgh, because you think this is Ben's last year, I don't. If he doesn't get hurt, I think if he plays, let's say, 14 out of 16 games, I think he would come back in 2021. But I think because remember, Jameis is just 25 years old, 26 years old. So I mean, if he sat for 2 years, I don't think that would be a problem. Maybe he should take the Teddy Bridgewater route. You know what I mean? If he takes the Teddy Bridgewater route, it could be good for him, possibly. And Teddy didn't sit because he was throwing multiple picks. He sat because he got hurt.
Right. But at this point in their careers, I would take Bridgewater 10 times out of 10.
Oh, so would I. Yeah, so would I. Yeah, no question. So would I. I thought the Saints were stupid for letting him go. But I can understand if Teddy has a chance to be a starter, absolutely, you go for it.
Right, yeah.
And another name I'm going to name for you, Jadeveon Clowney.
He's pricing himself too high. There's a number of guys out there. Clowney, he's often hurt. He's not the most durable guy. He's talented, but he's not the most durable guy. And a guy like Everson Griffin is still out there, and he is like Iron Man.
That's crazy, right?
He doesn't have a job yet.
That's crazy, right?
I think Clowney is. I think Griffin is weighing his options. I think Clowney is pricing himself kind of out of there.
I think Seattle really wants to bring him back, but like you said, he's pricing himself too high, and the fact that they brought back Irvin is kind of letting Clowney know, hey, we really don't need you, and that really puts the ball in their court. The only thing is, everybody can use a pass rusher, but you see, people are trying to get pass rushers on the cheap. Like, look at Dallas. So I'm shocked. I didn't think Clowney would still be on the market after 3 weeks of free agency. That does kind of surprise me.
Right. Yeah. But maybe he feels, if you look at the deal where we mentioned Robert Quinn, look at the deal that he got, maybe he figured, look, I'm like years better than that guy, plus I'm a lot younger, I should get more, but for whatever reason, the market is just not, because I certainly want to take a look at Griffin. But I understand why they did.
And finally, on the topic of football, DeAndre Hopkins.
I think the rumor was there was friction. There was friction with him and quarterback. So, enough said. Maybe they didn't let it get out to the public, but clearly it was enough that you take a guy his talent and trade him away for a bag of chips.
I think they might have lost Deshaun Watson when he becomes a free agent for that move. I mean, I don't think
they did. I think he's the reason why they did make that move. That's the rumor that they didn't get along.
Deshaun and DeAndre?
Yeah.
Everything I heard from there was those guys were tight. I mean, think about it. I never heard anything like that. I heard that they were tight like glue. Think of it. Both of them went to Clemson. That's his go-to guy. Now, that's the first for that one.
Yeah, that was like one of the first things I read in relation to that. But, who really knows? You know that there's something. And it ain't got nothing to do with football. We know this. It has nothing to do with football. Because it's nothing to do with football. It had nothing to do with money because you're not paying him out of the world money. What else could it be?
Yeah, that's true. That's
The
true.
production is there. He's kind of, clutch receiver. What? So it's something. Whether it was him and DeAndre, whether it was him and the coach.
From what I've heard, it was Bill. It was Bill Bryan. Bill Bryan kind of. I guess even going to him having his kids' moms, him not wanting his kids' moms around practice. Now, if he had baby mamas in practice, I can understand that. But from
like Brent Grimes.
right. Oh, now see, yeah. But from what you heard from the players, that wasn't the case. The stuff that I've heard from the players was that they loved DeAndre, that he was a leader, and that they're absolutely pissed. Because
but none of them they may be pissed, but none of them are saying why it happened. Thus, DeAndre is not saying why it happened.
Well, DeAndre is low key. I don't think he wants it all to get out. I think he's accepted it, and he's moving on to Arizona. How do you think that benefits the Cardinals? It's obviously going to benefit them. You have a top 3 receiver in the league, but what would you expect from them? You got Fitzgerald back. He's long in the tooth, but he's still in great shape.
Yeah, it's something, man. We may never find out what it is, but it's something internal, and it ain't football because you don't sell low on one of the best receivers in the game. You don't sell low unless it's something serious that you feel like is going. Even as incompetent as their front office seems, you don't sell low. You put it out there and to the highest bidder, and if nobody else bites, then you sell low. They did that like quick, fast, in a hurry. What you give us? All right, we'll take it.
Well, I don't, because sometimes I think that with some of these guys from the Belichick tree, like Bill O'Brien and Matt Patricia, when it came out what Darius Slay said about how he really kind of just disrespected him and told him, he didn't think he was elite. Some of those coaches think that they're actually Bill Belichick, and they're not. Now, given Bill O'Brien has had the most success, out of the Belichick coaching tree, but I think a lot of that has been in the benefit of a weak division and Andrew Luck being injured the majority of the last couple of seasons and ultimately retiring. You got blessed with Deshaun Watson, but I don't know, man. I think this thing might come crashing down on Houston, and it's all going to fall on the coach.
Maybe so.
Because you think about it. Over the last season, you get rid of Jadeveon Clowney. You didn't get rid of him for much either. You get rid of DeAndre Hopkins, but you extend J.J. Watt.
I don't know. It probably would have already come out if COVID wasn't going on, because the media they would have had access and wouldn't have let it go. And that may very well be the case. I just feel like something happened internally that made them just say, look, it's time for us to part ways right now.
All right, well, before I let you go, college basketball, best player of all time. You're a Bulls fan. I know you love MJ, but is he really the greatest college basketball player of all time?
No, he is not. And whoever said that knows he's not. They just wanted some attention, some negative press is as good as positive press sometimes. And they're just talking out their ass because it's a whole lot. Kareem, Grant Hill, Leitner, it's so many good college basketball.
Yeah, honestly, players. I wouldn't even put Jordan in the top 10 of greatest college basketball players of all time.
Like, so many. Clyde. It's just so many dudes.
Hakeem, Patrick Ewing, they were all better.
Exactly. Exactly. But, I'm a Jordan dude, and, they believe everything Jordan touched was gold. That just simply wasn't true,
Yeah, because as I said earlier before we got on the phone, I didn't think Jordan wasn't even the best player on the championship team that he was on.
No.
And there was, James Worthy was the best, who was the number 1 pick, and then you had another top 5 draft pick, Sam Perkins, who was on that team.
Sleepy Sam.
But
Well, they just want something to talk about.
Yeah, because they don't have anything. You know, we don't have anything to do. There's no live sports.
That's terrible. I feel bad for them kids, though.
Yeah,
I don't feel bad for the pro athletes, the college kids. Yeah.
Man, oh my gosh, that really pissed me off because, for one, my boys Virginia were on fire, but this was a tournament where you really was going to be a tournament where you really didn't know who was going to win it. There was no established dominant team. Like, I mean, Dayton was what, number 2, number 3 in the nation. Anthony Grant ended up getting the coach of the year, and his sophomore sensation ended up getting the player of the year. But it was just one of those years where this could have been a really exciting tournament because of the unpredictability of it, and it's sad, man. It's really sad.
Well, at least they did right by him as far as the year eligibility, but yeah, I get you on that. It's funny that the NFL kids, the ones that are going to, it won't impact them quite as much. They still gonna get that badge.
Oh yeah, they're definitely getting that back. It really hasn't affected the NFL at all, except for, of course, the free agency, being able to do physicals and whatnot. But this could potentially not affect the NFL at all as far as having to push anything back. Lord knows, I hope. But if that's the case, then everybody won't totally lose their sanity. This is supposed to be but this is, around March, April is supposed to be an awesome time in sports, where you got the NCAA tournament, the beginning of baseball, basketball getting ready to go to the playoffs. Do you think the NBA will continue this season?
No. Now, there's the funny thing is, Maul, who's a Lakers fan, he said, "You gonna congratulate us on our championship?" I said, "What championship?" Oh, he's like, the NFL. I did not know this. The NFL has the rule in place that by default, the Lakers may end up being awarded the championship.
And it's because of I heard about that because of the best record, but Milwaukee had the best record by about 2 or 3 games. So I don't understand that. I've heard that a couple of times this week, and I don't get it because the Bucks had a better record than the Lakers. So if anybody would be awarded the championship, it would be the Greek Freak. Either way, if there's a champion awarded, I'm not going to respect them as a champion because you got to win that on the court for me.
Exactly. And if I'm the Lakers, the storied franchise, proud franchise, I wouldn't accept it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't even hang that banner. You better not. You don't do it.
I would not accept it. I just literally would just, I'm good.
Exactly. Give it to the Clippers. But anyway, big homie, good talking to you. I'm gonna hit you back real soon so we can do this again and just talk about some what ifs and if this team would have played that team and the fun barbershop stuff that we can do.
Gotcha. Hey, one part note. Did you hear what the NHL may do though?
No, I didn't.
Now, we'll talk hockey, and I'm not a hockey fan. But the NHL was talking about proposing the shortened season dynamic, but simply making a 5-game season and then a playoff. That's it. Just 5 games and then straight into a playoff.
I wouldn't mind that. I mean, that to me sounds smart. If I was the NBA, I would just go straight to a playoff, but I understand with TV contracts you have to reach 70 games, blase. But yeah, if I was, that's smart.
Interesting. It's
Right about now, I would damn it watch hockey if that was the only live sport on.
Hey, you said that the contracts are the way the TV contracts are the way they are, but I mean, hey, NFL, NBA, hey, you can follow suit. Oh,
well, they can. I mean, I said as far as
an NBA season, just have a 32 team playoff, like the college bracket.
Yeah, they could have it. They could have it NCAA style. And once you get down to 16 teams, then you could start, your series. But even then, with the beginning, I would do 2 out of 3. I would only do best 4 out of 7 until you got to the conference championships and the finals.
Right. Yep.
But as far as if it was 32 teams, I would, of course, I would do it NCAA style. Once you got to 16 teams, I would do best 2 out of 3 for those first for the first round, 3 out of 5 for the second, and then from the conference to the finals, do 4 out of 7.
Right.
And I wouldn't have the long ass till I would take it back in the day. I wouldn't have the long ass 3-4 day rest over between games every other day.
Do it NCAA style and All-Star game style. This year's All-Star game style.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
With the fourth quarter.
Oh yeah. That's
everything on the line.
Oh yeah. Hey. And one thing people
we get our money worth in.
And one thing people can't complain about is load management, because they're pretty much gonna have another off season in season.
Oh yeah. Well, you'd ensure that everybody would have to play. You'd have to play your guys through the entirety of that. And yeah, we see some of the best defensive basketball played probably.
Oh yeah. Well, all right, big bro. So I'm definitely gonna holler at you, and you go ahead and you take care.
You too, sir.
All right. And with that being said, what a buzzer, what a buzzer, what a buzzer. My man Tony, the long conversations when we're just going back and just throwing things out there, it's great. I love it. But I'm gonna bid everybody a farewell. And until the next time, I hope everybody stays safe. I hope everybody is responsible. That's the thing that really got on my nerves as far as that picture that was posted with the football players, the 5 football players, and people getting on them. That's a big deal. Look, it's not like they was out there being irresponsible. Like the person who licked toilets and then said they had the coronavirus. Well, duh, you licked toilets, you jackass. What did you think was going to happen? But anyway, this is Brandon Brevon Towns. This has been another episode of Sports Plus Life. I hope everybody has a safe weekend. I'll holla back. Peace.